I got this this RSV thing going around. I don't know how things are down there, but in Ontario, like the hospitals are just overrun with this new virus going around. And I feel mostly better, but I can't even hear out of one ear because it's just clogged everything up. So I'm just doing my best.
Is that like a type of flu, or is it something different?
No, it's like a respiratory virus, but something that's just it's people are saying it takes like 3-4 weeks for it to clear up. So just some nasty virus.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah. Well, I'm glad you're at least somewhat better. Do you want to walk through the kata then, or?
Yep. Yeah, you gave me a lot of little things to work on, so let's see if I manage to pull it off.
All right.
Suparinpei. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Well done. Made it through.
Hi.
So tell me some of the details you've been concentrating on as you've been doing your practice.
You told me the heel is moving, so I'm trying to work on that. Trying to keep the hand flat, because you told me I'm curving the hand. Yeah. You told me last time about breathing, how I was kind of doing Sanchin breath through this and through a bunch of places, and you told me to make the breath less audible. Yeah. You told me, again, I have the habit of placing the hand and doing elbow instead of both. So I'm trying to work on a little bit more both. And you told me I was leaving too much of a gap, and that this one should be more center line instead of like an X. So I'm trying to work on that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think you were successful in a lot of those details. Yeah. So, and being successful in a lot of those details means there's other details we can look at. Do the same positions, if that makes sense.
Hi, Sensei.
I think the overall timing was you're on the right track too. You know, the overall timing of the kata now, or on track. That's good. So And like the speed of the turns, particularly in the Nekoashi was good. I thought that was good. But let's look at one part then. Thing is, you're doing that well now. Is like after we're here and we were talking about this, so that's good. Like think about this. Like when I do this part, it's as if I'm pressing my whole forearm and I've got this all my weight. I mean, I'm not going to do that with my body leaning forward, but the feeling is like it's like really heavy. It's like this sort of sanction position, like focused in, and then I like punch over the top of it. Yeah. Yeah.
So I should carry some tension then, as opposed to like throwing a block and then relaxing it. I should carry it a little bit more.
Yes.
Then
yes, exactly.
Okay.
So the front foot and that forearm is going to be quite connected because you're trying to press weight into that. I think probably the easiest way to think about it in application would be if you're putting your forearm across someone's arms, basically pinning their arms, putting your weight when they're hitting them. And not that's the only application, but that's kind of a way to get that feeling of one, and two. Try a couple of times.
Well, that makes sense, right? Our connector drills have that.
Yeah.
Have that piece. So yeah.
Good. So when you step forward, you've got that rotation. You've already got the heaviness in the foot from that rotation. Continue that feeling. Yeah, through the forearm. Yeah, like that. That's it.
The other punch feels stronger somehow when I hold.
Yeah, looks stronger too.
Yeah, that's really.
Everything's more connected.
Right. Yeah, because instead of just, again, that always feels like. Right. But when you do this feels like it's loose and disconnected, but this isn't. You're holding it, so it feels a lot stronger.
Yeah.
Right.
So we think about that, and then I thought this part, like when we're doing this bit, so we've got a really nice movement coming through. Just going to make sure this hand doesn't drop.
What am I doing with that?
Sanction position. I'm not going to let it come down a little bit. So maybe.
Oh, okay.
So the feeling is, that I hit over my arm and then my wrist bends.
Yeah, I feel it.
It wants to move, right? It's quite similar to the one you just did, where the previous movement where you did the block down, punched over, you held it in place. Well, this is the same thing, but
that makes sense.
It's not quite as natural a movement.
It still wants
to move, right?
Yeah. Okay. That's going to take some practice. Okay.
So I think the thing to do with that is just make sure that when you do it, when I'm in my sideways position, I don't have it pulled back over here. It's still a little bit, it's still in that position. It's not over here because I'm facing sideways.
Right. Maybe I need to bring it front more.
Otherwise, I won't have space. I'll have to drop my arm because I won't have space to punch through.
Question.
Yeah.
How far is the punching hand coming through?
It's going to be. It's going to finish at my wrist. So I'm punching this direction. I'm not punching over here. I'm not punching over this that way.
So
So it's just, I'm not doing that. Basically, sort of wrist.
So just a little bit. Okay. Okay. Hi. Maybe a little more.
That's good. And so then once I got my wrist through, then it's this hand opens, but then my elbow comes up to my wrist for that. Yeah, that's it. So we do a full get embadai, not just half a get embadai. That's it.
Get it up more. Okay. That I can do. I can do that.
Yeah. So then that's what I mean by you're getting better and better and better. So there's more and more detail.
Right.
It can be discouraging, so I don't want you to be discouraged. I think it's a good sign.
No.
And then I don't know if this was just a one-off. After you did your jump kick, you went to here. You did this part. You did that where there is not. You don't do that on the second one.
Oh.
So like the first kick I do, my first kick elbow, I go all the way through to here. But when after the jump kick, when you do it, there's no, that part is missed out. It's just boom, and then you go.
Oh, I didn't realize.
You don't show it after the jump kick.
Okay.
So there's kind of two different variations of it.
Thank you for that correction. Yeah, I didn't realize.
And then we had talked about bringing the hands together a bit. So I think if I'm doing the first one. So 1, 2, 3. So it's fast kick, fast elbow, fast back fist, and then this is a little bit. I'm doing it quickly, but I'm doing it with a much different feeling, kind of like you were talking about here. You're holding the tension, so it's like 1, 2. It's not super fast. It's not slow. It's not super fast. There's a lot of tension in it. Kind of like Sanseru with that feeling like. There's a different quality of movement.
But there's no pause on that between that and the next move. Like I wouldn't pause there so much. I would straight. You said go because you said it's fast to go straight into the next set, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't fast. This is a little bit more tension.
Yeah, so as if you're pulling a resistance band back towards you. But I think what is happening, Greg, is that after you do that. When you come here, you're releasing too soon. You're releasing the hand too soon. Literally imagine you're pulling your hand out of a sock.
Oh.
This is the sock. So I'm not going to release too soon. Just go all the way.
That makes sense. Yeah, because I think I'm just kind of placing my hand there because this is a new technique for me.
Yeah.
I just kind of pull it out. Like I don't.
Right. Just go all the way back. Follow the line. Just keep.
Right. So I need to be like
yeah,
you said,
I mean, essentially my left hand just stays where it is. I don't move my left hand out of the way or move my hand out of the way. I just keep pulling it back, just like I would to the chamber. But this hand stays there.
Right. Okay, and keep a bit more tension on the grabbing hand, I suppose, for that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, don't hurt your thumb. But yeah, it's the feeling of like a heavy rubbing almost.
Right.
Yeah.
That creates the feeling better because then I'm not speeding through the move.
Yeah. So I think this part. I think this part is better now. Well, I think it's better. I think you know, a good exercise you can do with that. It's not that you have to be able to hit with your fingers, because maybe that isn't what we're doing at all. But I think we do. I think there's no harm in making sure we've got a strong focused hand, because when I do that kind of thing, like if I do this, if I do that, the feeling is not of doing something like that, like just pushing. For example, I'm pushing an arm over. It feels like I'm like holding something. So my fingers are straight because, you know, I might be just pushing an arm, for example. Or on the outside, you can easily lock someone's arm. I might be grabbing here and pushing their chin. That makes sense. So if my hand's curled, it feels like I'm doing something else. So a good way to practice just keeping the hand open, if you like, is you can you do this with a partner. You just put your hands in there, just under their ribs, and make sure they're tight, and just try and push them away. Usually when most people do that, they can't do it in the beginning, but after just a little bit of practice, you are able to push away with your fingers. I mean, really? Make sure someone's got a tight belly.
Okay.
You know, or even on a heavy bag, you can try it. So you get that feeling of pushing, as opposed to like holding kind of thing.
Okay, I can practice that. It's very interesting.
Yeah. So so it's like one, that heavy turn again. We've got that heavy turn. 1, 2, and then this whole feeling of my whole, you know, almost like a spike, if you like, spear. And that's what's called nukite. It's like spear hand. Not necessarily because we're doing a spear, we could be, but more because of the feeling of the movement.
With Shisoshin, you know, we would have that as a like a slip and a grab. You think this would have any of that as well? Some kind of a slip, grabbing the belt?
Definitely, yeah. Sometimes you know, if I've got someone's arm, I can come under it and then pull it back, so they're kind of like this kind of feeling. Yeah, definitely lots of applications like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so yeah, it's not as simple as just block punch with the fingers. There's a lot more, obviously a lot more to it than that.
I can practice on this guy.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you'll find like 20 different ways to use it just with that in mind, straight, you know. Okay. But definitely, you know, affecting the joints, the neck, you know, twisting the head, the foot, you know, if you call it foot, same thing. I mean, there's only, you know, anytime you push pull and you put part of the body in the way, you're going to be locking, wrenching, you know, breaking, whatever. I think it is interesting that when I do, you know, I do the morshuket, and then I go under, and when I do the morshuket here, that's just morshuket, right? Morshuket. So I go morshuket, and then rather than go under on this one, I'm going over. So it just gives 2 variations of it, right? In the beginning, we're going under. Here we're going over.
Hi, yeah, that makes sense.
It's slightly different, but you see they're connected.
Yeah.
Which is part of the same technique. Yeah, I thought this part was good, so we finish it off, and then it's like 1, 2, 3. I just keep working on that. Slow, medium, fast. Slow, medium, fast. But slow, medium, fast. Just keep working on that.
I got a little anxious because I feel like I'm going off camera and you can't see me maybe, or I'm too close to camera because I'm
I think you're getting a bit close on that one, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm way up here and I'm like, I feel like my timing's gonna get all messed up now. So that could be part of it. Yes, I will keep working on that.
No, and I'm not saying you're not doing it. I mean, because you are doing it. I say it's like, eventually, I think these things are meant to be done, very, very quickly.
Let's see.
Yeah, and so I think we talked about this before. It's when I look in Gexai Daini, it's kind of similar. It's like one, like that feeling, right?
Yeah. Hi.
In Suparinpei, we only go forward, but in Gexai Daini we go forward back. It's actually quite important for the application to be able to go forward back because it means you're affecting your opponent as you do it.
Right. Yeah, that's a great connection.
Yeah, I think the Gexai kata and Suparinpei, there's a very important connection there. And once you get into Suparinpei more deeply, then we start to see it, right? We start to see the Gexai kata seem to be a simplification of Suparinpei and maybe also a magnification of it, so it helps us practice. So in Gexai, when I do an elbow, I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Whereas in the other kata, like Sansuru, I just do that. Shishokushin, I just do that. But Suparinpei, I go kick, elbow, back fist, block, punch, right? You can see the connection to it, right? If I go like 1, 2, 3, 4, I mean, it looks like I'm doing the same Gexai full movement, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to be able to, these are like, bam, but when I shrink everything down, it's like, whoa, it starts to be almost like the same. All right, Greg. Yeah. So work on it. Keep working on it. You're doing really good.
Hi. Thank you, Sensei.
All right. Thank
you.